We have a wonderful program today. We have Steve, the developer, who's going to be speaking on some construction updates, giving us kind of a state of the community. We have Diane with Dental Transitions, who's going to be talking about some downsizing tips and tricks and any of those last-minute packing suggestions that we're all anxious to hear about. We have Scott with the Home Connections program in Coldwell. He's going to be speaking about some market trends, housing news, etc. We have Kelsey, who is the Fitness Services Director, who is going to be speaking about some new programming and what we can expect from the wellness department within the community. And then we have a fun introduction. We are going to be meeting Molly Paul, the campus administrator for Flagstone. So we'll hear a little introduction from Molly as well. So as we're kind of nearing the final stretch, we have a few months to go. I'm thinking that most people have started packing, downsizing, sorting, tossing, and there's some giggles. I hope that's not a stressful laugh I hear coming from the crowd. I would be curious to know of some of the more unique finds that people have found as they're sorting through boxes, under the beds, in the back of the closet. Has anybody come across anything really unique, any kind of standout items, or anything you wish maybe you would have tossed 50 years ago? Who has something fun they found? Yes, Dave.
My membership in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Dave found his Mickey Mouse Club membership. Dave, what year was that dated? Oh my gosh, from the 50s. That's awesome. Anyone else have anything fun? Yeah, Dave, another Dave.
My high school letter jacket.
Oh, very cool. Dave, does it still fit you? Does it still fit?
Unfortunately, no, but it does fit my daughter.
Okay, is it coming with you to the new community? Okay, all right. Who else has something fun that they found? Everyone else is proud of their finds. I like it. Good. All right, so I am going to first introduce Steve Nornis. He is the developer for this project. He's the go-to guy with all the answers. So here is Steve.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. I'm Steve Nornis. I'm the developer of the project. I've been working on this since day one, and I want to welcome you all here. Good news is that the project is on schedule. I will share with you those dates, but it's been a challenging year with the site. The site is real muddy. We've had to bring in big pillars and columns to make roadways. Whenever it rained, the equipment would get stuck. If we put rock down, that rock would be buried down. So they found a way to manage that, and AP Construction has done an exceptional job just mitigating it, because we had a lot of rain and wet conditions at the beginning. Beyond that, just this whole management of COVID and keeping our staff safe and keeping all the employees safe and keeping it on schedule. With the procurement, as we all understand today, the procuring industry, we moved way upstream in buying the countertops, getting the appliances ordered, getting the lighting. We said, buy early, store it. Let's not make any excuses for procurement to be a reason for delay. And that's been a successful strategy that everybody on the team has moved upstream and has done things earlier than we typically would do in any other project. So I'm very proud of the design team, AP Construction, for taking leadership on the construction side. And so by far, this has been the best project that I've worked with for coordination, teamwork, the quality of the work, the delivery on time. And I think that everybody will see the benefits of that as you move in, because our goal is to get it done right the first time. There will be some things that we miss, but if we can narrow those and make them a few, then we can fix them quickly. And so that's my goal, is to anticipate all that. The other thing is that you'll meet from Molly today, but behind the scenes, the staff have been working diligently in putting all the services and the programming going together. And we're meeting on a regular basis to make sure we got everything from culinary to maintenance to housekeeping to nursing all lined up. So as we get going, operations and Molly's team can have a smooth transition. So there's quite a bit that we're working on behind the scenes. So we use a word called TCO. It's temporary construction, a certificate of occupancy, and that is the sign that we can actually move in. But before we move in, we have to install the furniture, the art fixtures, bring in the equipment, bring in the desk, make sure the staff can get moved in, make sure all the systems are working. And so we have a period of time which we're doing that. One thing you may note is that we worked with the city of Eden Prairie, and we've actually gotten permission to start moving in furniture earlier. We're actually going to, hopefully, if it goes well, we'll move in furniture in the healthcare side the last piece of July. And then that will enable us to spend more time to get things all moving in. So our schedule is going pretty well, and the city of Eden Prairie has been great. A lot of times inspectors won't let you move anything in until you get the TCO. So there's tons of cooperations with the city. So what does that mean? The end of September will be the first scheduled move-in dates. So as you're planning your time frames like that, on that time, plan on the end of September when we will be able to start admitting in the apartments. So this picture here is just the front lobby. We're standing in the lobby and looking out the main doors, which is right here. Off to my right here is the bistro. This area will be a place where you can have coffee, soup, or sandwiches. You'll have a big fireplace in it. You'll have some tables and chairs, and then there'll be some seating on the outside. So right when you walk in the community, this is the first area that you'll see, and you may have seen some earlier renderings. This is the opposite view. One of the things we like to do when you come in is you see outside immediately. It's called the quality of light. And so as you walk into the community, you'll look right through the building, and we'll have a big fireplace, 2-story with brick. This is the walkway. The library is up on the top. The bistro's off to the left, and so it kind of gives you a feel of grand area. Just beyond this area, we have a club room with big nano doors that open up into the main dining room, so we can have a real big interactive location that outlooks over across the lake. This is our Auditorium and Chapel, and we've made this flexible where you can put a divider across. And so if you have smaller groups, you can have that, so it really creates more flexibility in programming. We've also, on the top, wood here. This will be all wood, and so as you come in, there'll be some lights coming down, and then the projector is just not sitting in the middle. When you have an event, the projector will drop down when the screen drops down. So mostly when it's not being used, it'll be a nice, finished-looking area where all our events and programs will be. This is a room that I really love. It's called the Skyview Lounge. It's up on the 5th floor. It overlooks Eden Prairie Center. With that, we're going to have an area where you can have a counter, where you can have events. We're also putting induction cooking up there, so if you want to cook something, you have a party. It's a super flexible space, so if you want to have a family gathering, you could reserve that. You can cook to order or bring food in, big counter, and we'll have tables and chairs, and there'll be a billiards table. There'll be an outdoor terrace that will overlook the Eden Prairie Center, so it'll be a very vibrant, active space that will be just a fun place to meet people. The other outdoor experience, which is really coming along, is the Courtyard. And this will be the first place that will have a pickleball court in our projects, along with a putting green, a gazebo, but also a grill station. We've just worked out some of the details, and we'll have 2 30-inch grills outside that's covered. We'll also have a big counter that's round with a sink, and then we're putting a big flat screen on the outside. So if you want to watch baseball or a sporting event or the news, you can go outside and grill and sit and relax. But this whole area will have a place where you can sit with an outdoor fire area. The other part is the walls open up. We have big nano walls that open up into the pool. So it'll be a very interactive area. And someone said, is that a place for you to design that you would enjoy? And I said, absolutely. But it will be a nice place. The next view is in the apartment. think you're up on 4th floor. So it's looking straight out this whole courtyard over Lake Purgatory. So kind of give you an example. You can see the decks are cantilevered out. This is an idea of status of an apartment. The appliances are not in yet, but you can see all the cabinetry, the flooring is in. We've been working on 5th floor and working down. I've actually, in the memory cares on the 5th floor, on the healthcare side, and I've actually punched those buildings, the carpet ins, the cabinets in. And so when I start punching, that means we're getting really close to finishing. And then one of our punch goals, just internal words, is we don't want to find more than 4 to 5 things wrong in an apartment, or otherwise we won't punch it. So AP understands that the quality has to be there before we go in and make a punch. And that's the punch is to approve the construction of that area. This is a view looking out into a patio, and it's up on the 5th floor, out overlooking Eden Prairie in the horizon. And that's the Eden Prairie Town Center. All righty, that's my section. The good news is we're right on schedule, and my goal is to just continue to keep AP working and hitting those dates. So next up is Molly Paul. This is the person you'll get to know because she's the campus administrator. And so we'd like to have you be introduced to Molly.
How many people do you have working?
How many people do we have working
Yeah.
on the construction site? It fluctuates, but at the peak time, there was probably 170 people that were on site. And we're going to, keep at that pace, but then it's going to be going down. Once drywalling is done, then you start getting the finished carpentry in. But with electrical and MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, you got all those trades working together. It's pretty big group of people working. Yep.
Thank you, Steve. So as Steve said, my name is Molly, and I'm the campus administrator at Castle Ridge currently. I've been with Presbyterian Homes 5 years at the Castle Ridge campus, and I'm so excited to continue serving and to be the campus administrator for Flagstone when it opens. I can't wait to get to know each and every one of you more individually and to just be a part of that community with you all. I love my job. I love serving seniors. It really makes my day just interacting with seniors and going home and telling the stories to my husband. It just really makes my work enjoyable. So I'm really, really excited to get to know each of you. A little bit about me personally. You can see there's a photo up there of my family. I'm a brand new mom. I had a baby girl 6 months ago. So my husband and I are still navigating that new parent life. So sleepless nights and everything are what we're going through right now. I'm sure many of you could give us advice as it relates to that. So wisdom is always appreciated. We also have a little dog, a Yorkie named Wilson. So that's our little family. Another fun fact about me is I actually grew up in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. So I am very familiar with the community. I went to high school in Eden Prairie, and I actually volunteered at Castle Ridge way back when I was a high school student. So fun to now be able to help lead that community, and I'm so blessed to be a part of the Eden Prairie community still. My parents actually just live down the road, so they're still Eden Prairie residents as well. So it's a very near and dear community to my heart, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. So next, I'm just going to share a few updates about move-in and some key things for you guys to be aware of. Do I hit next, or do you? Okay, there we go. That looks like the right slide. We'll be distributing move-in packets in August, and those move-in packets will include a request for lease signing dates and times. So we will schedule that with each one of you so that we can get everyone squared away with their lease. And then we'll also have a request form for move-in date and timing. Since we have 67 reservations and counting, it'll be a very busy move-in time for the new communities. So we will coordinate with you to schedule a time that works for you, but that will also work for the community so that we don't have too many scheduled on the same day. We want to ensure that you guys have optimal flow for moving in furniture and to use different doorways so we don't have too many people coming through the same doorway at the same time. With that being said, we will make sure that your rent will not start until you move in. So to be aware of that. So if your move-in date is out just a little bit, don't worry, your rent will not begin until you actually move in. And so we'll also include change of address cards in that move-in packet for your convenience to make sure that you get that taken care of before you move. And then, like I said, there'll be different move-in doors, and we'll have maps, and we'll help guide you to know which move-in door will be the most convenient for you to get all of your furniture and everything into your apartment. So those are just a couple key updates as we move forward. I cannot believe that move-in timing is just a few short months away. It's really flown by. I'm sure it has for you guys as well. So it's really exciting stuff. And that's really all that I have to share today. I'm going to hand over the microphone to Diane with Gentle Transitions. She's going to give you guys some tips.
Question.
Yeah.
In August, is it possible we can go and get a preview of our unit?
Very good question. There is going to be a Dusty Shoe event, I've been told. I don't know the exact date of that yet, but Chelsea and Denise will be communicating that out to you guys. Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, thank you. Oh, another question. Yes, we do have an address. I do not have it memorized, but we can make sure that that gets sent out to everyone. There is a main address for the independent living side of the campus and a secondary address for the care side of the campus with the skilled care and assisted living. Yeah, good question. Another one in the back there? Or no? All right.
Good afternoon. I'm Diane Bjorkman, and my husband and I own a company called Gentle Transitions. Many of you were at the fall program where I spoke and gave an overview of what we do. We have been in business for 31 years, serving the entire Twin Cities and helping people make their moves. I'm not going to go into detail in everything that we do because many of you heard me before, but I am going to say in a nutshell, our mission is to make our clients' transitions as stress-free as possible. Right now, you might think that's not a possibility, but we try to lift the worries off of our clients' plates and take them onto ours and manage all of the details of the move. So we start out with a complimentary visit, and we already have met with 32 individuals or couples and that we are working with on their moves into Flagstone. And that visit is typically an hour to 2 hours to try to find out what is your unique situation, what are you laying awake at night thinking about and worried about, and how can we help with your move to take those worries away. And then we actually do all of the planning we do all our employees, they're not contract workers, all of our own employees do all of the packing. The move manager can help people get rid of things that are not going. That starts with a floor plan, which I'm going to discuss a little more in depth. And then we do all the packing. We arrange the moving truck. That is not Gentle Transitions. And we do the unpacking and fully resettling our clients. So we tailor that to every individual. Sometimes people will just say, I just want this piece, or we want to do this. Can you manage the rest? And we like to tailor it to each client. So that's in a nutshell what Gentle Transitions is about and how we can help. But today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some highlights. As you do get closer, I'm going to give you some hints, and I'm going to try my best not to scare you. If I had to say what is the greatest priority right now for everyone in this room, it is to have a plan. Whatever your plan is, think it through. It might be to do the move yourself, to do the move with your family, with your friends, to use only a moving truck and the physical muscle to get your things from A to B, and you want to manage everything else, or to use a company like Gentle Transitions that does it all for you. The reason I am stressing get a plan in place is because I think since COVID, we've kind of lost about 14 months of people making moves. And we are experiencing a tsunami of requests for moves. Not only is Gentle Transitions really incredibly busy, the moving truck companies are incredibly busy. So I can go through calling 9 movers before I can find a mover to meet the date demand that our client is requesting. We get a lot of crisis moves, and they're very, very hard to accommodate right now because of those 2 factors. So if I have to give everyone advice, you know, you're about 4 months out, so you have the opportunity to think through your plan and not have it be a crisis, and have it be as stress-free and smooth as possible. So that's number 1. Plan your move. Get on people's calendars. Get on our calendar. Get on a mover's calendar, so you don't hit that screeching halt of we cannot accommodate what you're hoping to do, or when you sell your home and when you close on your home. So my biggest advice starts with that. Next is sorting. Let me ask from the reverse side, is there anyone that hasn't started sorting that will admit that? My husband and I we're going through a very small remodel. So I have lived through what our clients often live through of getting rid of stuff. And for years, I have been doing seminars and telling people, your kids aren't gonna want your things anymore. Now I have learned the general public very often does not want other people's things. So what you might think is very valuable, you might find nobody wants it. So I did, we were getting rid of all of our living room furniture we've had for 25 years and buying new. And I learned that things that we might have paid $5,000 for a sectional sofa, people would give me $200 for. So if you haven't been through that yet, prepare yourselves for learning that. Even many things it's hard to give away, like armoires. I was thrilled to find some University of Wisconsin-Madison newly married couple that wanted an armoire. Nobody wants it. I melted down my mom's sterling silver. She's going to be 94 years old, and she was like, go for it, do it. And we got about $2,400. I already had a set of sterling silver, but that's a great option for people right now. Silver is high, so you can melt it down. And even though it breaks your heart, possibly, to do that, these are some options that I just, again, learned on my own. But I said to my husband, I feel like I am being put through this process to have increased empathy once again for our clients that are going through it. And I would say to him, this living room furniture is in perfect condition, and I still love it. I'm sounding just like our clients. But it's hard. It's hard, the reality of that. So start your sorting. Gentle Transitions helps our clients get rid of things, and we will take things to donation sites. We will drop things at disposal sites. So usually the movers that we work with will help us move our clients, and then on they go to a donation site, and then wherever else they might be disposing of things. So if you're doing the move on your own, get those ducks in a row as well. Research the charitable organizations that have criteria of what they will take and what they will not take, because that might surprise you as well. And you don't want to be closing on your home and you can't get rid of that old mattress or the treadmill in the basement. So that's, again, my advice on sorting. If some of you recall, but now you might be closer, so you might listen differently, Gentle Transitions suggests using, well, I'm just going to hold them all up, a sticker program. This is what we do with our clients. And it's dots that we use like a stoplight. So if you are starting to sort, you go through one room, everything that you want to go with you, you sticker green. Things you're undecided on, you might sticker yellow. And things that are not going, we sticker red. And then when we come to pack up our clients, we know what in each room, what the plan is for those items. So that's just a kind of a simple method for those of you who are doing this on your own. to make some progress. Anyone have any tips on what you have found to be successful in sorting your home, your current home? No success in the room whatsoever? Is anyone using this process? Okay, great. Sorting, so let's see, and the floor plan. So you all have floor plans for your place. General Transitions takes the floor plan of all the Presbyterian Homes communities that we do moves into, and that move manager, under the direction of the client, lays out that floor plan. My husband was just doing one at the office when I left. You want to make certain that you fit in that floor plan what you really want to go. So what are you looking for? When you're looking at your floor plan, where is that cable connection? Where is your TV gonna go? He was stumped on this floor plan because he's moving this client to a community in Edina, and their TV cable was on a certain wall. So you have to kind of configure that entire room to work towards that. So where are those connections? If there's a phone connections. Lighting, that was a big challenge. He couldn't put the sofa in the center of that room, the sectional, because there were no outlets in the center of that room, no floor outlets. So he had to move that sectional back into the kind of a little bit further wall to be able to get electricity on the end table lamps. So all of these details go into our planning when we lay out the floor plan for our clients. We look at where the windows are, and if they're low windows like this, you don't want to put a sofa in front of that to block your view. You look at rod space for your clothing in your current home compared to your new floor plan at Flagstone. And what is the difference? If it's half of the rod space that you currently have, it's just a little flag that you're going to need to get rid of. That letter jacket, give it to your daughter. Cabinet space, another biggie, because typically cabinets are probably less in your new home than your current home. So think about that and try to get rid of things so you don't bring excess. That would be another tip, is probably 25% of the people that we move bring too much stuff. And that makes for a stressful entry to a new space. So we try to calmly and compassionately encourage our clients to not bring too much, and that floor planning really kind of helps that process. If you haven't started sorting, it's a good time to do so. If you're using Gentle Transitions and you're ready to have some help in that area, reach out to your move manager. We'll get something on the schedule, and again, make that a calm process, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, so it's not crisis at the end. What other tips do I have? I think that is primarily what I wanted to share today. Does anyone have any questions about your move? Yes? Yep. So she's saying they won't know the move-in dates until the end of August. So immediately when you find that out, book a mover, for sure, book a mover. We are meeting with Chelsea and with Denise, Gentle Transitions is, and we're gonna meet either sometime in July to, like a number of you here might be working with the same move manager. So how do we avoid colliding with that move manager if you want the same move-in time? So we're going to work together with Presbyterian Homes to avoid that conflict and to plan accordingly. So when they send out your dates, we're hoping that you will take it upon yourself to reach out to your move manager at your earliest convenience and let them know your preferences, and they will let you know their availability for your ideal time frame. That answer your questions? Yeah. I guess that's just the best. Yes?
What do we live about 160 here, 170 miles from here. How does that play into it?
I was going to I tried to make a joke, and then I thought I better not. So, when people live 160 miles, 170 miles, we can either find people like us in your area that can do that end. Where do you live?
Up by, Cross Lake.
North. You're north. Okay, that's a little, there are no companies like us up in that area. I already know that. But, what? But we can find our movers that do the packing, and they can come and help with that piece of it, bring it down, and then Gentle Transitions would do the unpacking. We helped move a man from central Wisconsin to Waverly Gardens, Presbyterian Homes up in North Oaks. And this man, he was 3.5 hours away, and he called and said, you know, we need your help. And I said, it's a terrible feature of a business owner, but I said, you know, it's gonna cost you to get us there, and then we probably have to spend the night, you know, do our work and spend the night, and then do work the next day. And I'll never forget his answer was, honey, we couldn't do it without you. So we did it. We booked a crew, we went over, we helped pack, we spent the night, and came, you know, returned and resettled them in their new place. So call and I'll give you some solutions at least.
I guess the other question I have is, is it better off to buy everything new down here rather than move it down?
He's saying, would you be better off to buy everything new? And I would say no, not from that distance. If you were coming from Florida, trying to transport everything, that can be costly, and it might be worth it to start new, but not from where you are. No. If you're doing the move, you know, if you end up doing it pretty much on your own with just a moving truck, you should book that at your earliest convenience once you get a date. Yeah, very immediately. Anyone? Yes?
How is the cost, services estimated or ascertained?
How are the costs for our services estimated?
Right.
I didn't know if there was I couldn't hear the end of that. So when that move manager comes out and meets with the client, they do a walkthrough of their home, and we charge $57 an hour per person on the job. We have a $4.50 box fee that we lump all of our supplies into, and we have a $200 management fee. So they take all of that and plug it into what you need us or want us to do, and they leave you with a written estimate of how much it would cost. Because General Transitions is different than the moving truck, we also estimate for the moving truck. Typically now, an average might be 3 men per hour, it's about 190 an hour for movers. So that's hard for you to apply to your move, but because we do it every day, we are able to pull that together and give people an idea of cost. Any other questions? Yes? Can anyone answer how far the windows come up off the floor? 1 foot 9 inches, not 10. Yes, any other questions for me? Otherwise, I'm going to introduce Scott Stevenson from Caldwell Banker Burnett. And I have information at the back table if I'm not here when you leave and you have any interest or questions or want my email address, it will be at the back table.
Thank you, Diane. All right, see if I can figure this out. Look at that. Okay, hi everybody, I'm Scott Stevenson. I'm a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker. I'm seeing some familiar faces. A few of you I've been in your homes already, and this has been kind of a long-term relationship. I feel like we're dating, but we're getting close to prom. So move-in dates are coming, and what my role is we have come up with a program called Home Connections, which makes selling your home a little bit easier and a little bit more profitable based on what we know about a move into Flagstone. So here's a little bit about the program. I've only got 8 slides, so I'll try to be fairly quick. We have had a long-term partnership with Coldwell Banker and Presbyterian Homes. It's an exclusive relationship, so to get the benefits of this program, you need to use me as your real estate agent. You're free to use somebody else, but if you do, you won't get the benefits of this program. There is a cash rebate, so part of the sales commission from listing your home, you're going to get back at the end in a rebate check. And then there's also a home warranty that will be applied to the home once we list the home that covers the house while it's on the market, and then that home warranty transfers to the new buyers. So we'll get into that in a little more detail as well. There's only a few agents in the Twin Cities that are part of this Home Connections program, and again, I am the agent that's been assigned to Flagstone. And this is kind of an eye chart, so I won't go through it all, but basically it talks about, the process is once you meet with Flagstone and Chelsea, she'll ask if you would like a realtor to help you with selling your home. She will connect the two of us, then I will call you and make an appointment to come out to your house. We'll walk through your home together so I can get a feel of what your home currently looks like and maybe what we can do to tweak it a little bit to get ready for the market. And then I'll take you through some market analysis. I'll show you what your neighbors are selling for, what's happening in your area of town, and we're kind of going to talk about some market trends to see where we should price your home. Once your home is listed, the home warranty will be ordered and applied to the house, so your home again will be covered by a home warranty once we list it. Once your home has an offer and closes, again, after the home closes, you'll get that rebate. And here's a little example of, let's say your house sells for $500,000. The commission is typically 6% to sell your house. The listing side, which would be my portion, is typically 3.3%. We pay out 2.7 to the buyer's broker. There's no quiz on this, so you don't have to remember all this. But basically, the rebate is 15% of the listing side commission. So your check back afterwards would be about $2,500 on a $500,000 house. So you can use that for new furniture or curtains or whatever you'd like in your new property. The rebate is non-taxable, and you get that check right after we close. And then the home warranty, we've kind of talked about that. The value is about $550. It covers all the major functions in a house, all the appliances, the plumbing, the electrical. So if something breaks while your house is listed, again, it's covered under the warranty. The nice thing about having a house that's got a warranty is if a buyer is out looking at 3 or 4 houses that day, and yours is the only one with the warranty, it makes yours seem a little bit more attractive.
Great. Is there an inspection for that?
Typically, a buyer will pay for an inspection. No, there's not an inspection that's required. So the warranty is just automatically applied. Let's see. And so then what I wanted to talk about, does anybody have any questions about the Home Connections program before I get into the kind of some market trends? Anyone? Okay, good. So the real estate market, you've probably been listening to the news. It has been a crazy year for real estate. Last year with COVID, we went through about 2 or 3 months where nobody wanted to buy or sell a house. Nobody wanted to go into anybody else's house. And if you had a house for sale, you really didn't want anybody coming into your house. That has all changed. The floodgates are open. We are desperate for listings right now. Our listings, even versus last year, were down 4.8%. This is in the Twin Cities metro area. Closed sales are up 7.5%. So what does that tell you? We don't have a lot of listings, but the ones that are on the market are selling, and oftentimes for over asking price. Average sales price is up 8.6%. This is versus last year during COVID. And days on the market is down 18%. In the last few homes that I've listed, we've sold them usually within 2 to 3 days. If a house is on the market now for a week or 2, you wonder what's wrong with it. And I'm not kidding. It's just crazy. We can barely get a for sale sign in the front yard of houses before they sell right now. And then if you look at just Eden Prairie, I just pulled up some Eden Prairie statistics. Our new listings are down almost 7% versus last year. Closed sales are basically flat. But look at the average sales price, up 12%, and this is just versus last year. Average sales price in Eden Prairie now is $446,000. And the days on the market is down almost 19%. So you can see whatever comes on the market tends to sell very quickly at a very good price. So folks, it is a fantastic time to sell a house. You couldn't be moving at a better time. That's it for me. Do you have any questions for me about listing your house and getting it ready? What I'm telling my clients is it's a good time to meet now to get our strategy put together on when we're going to put your house on the market. Yes, ma'am.
You talk about selling a house. Is there a difference between a house and a condo?
Good question. Is there a difference between selling a house and a condo? Condos were also, inventory is way down on condos as well. So as long as it's priced correctly, condos are selling very quickly as well. What could slow condos down a little bit is sometimes the association fees can be pretty high, and it depends on the association. Some of the downtown condominiums have, believe it or not, $1,200, $1,400 a month association fees. We don't have that so much out here in Eden Prairie, thank goodness. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Put the house on the move-in is in October.
Yes.
When do you put the house on?
That is a great question.
How do you control?
Yeah, so he says if our move-in date is in October, when should we list our house? Typically, a buyer will ask for a 30 to 45 day closing period. So if you're gonna move in October, back it up about 45 days, and that's really when we should put your house on the market. Now, some of the folks that I've been meeting with are wanting to list their houses sooner rather than later. And in the notes from real estate agent to real estate agent, they're saying, okay, you can write an offer now, but we really don't want to close until September. You can try, but a lot of buyers, when they write an offer, they want to get in sooner rather than later. So it's kind of like walking a little tightrope that we're doing right now. So the easiest thing I think would be for a lot of you folks would be to move into Flagstone and then put your house on the market if you can afford to do that. If not, we can certainly do it the other way too. All right, that's it for me. I'll be sitting up here afterwards if anyone has any questions. And thank you for your time. And who's after me? Kelsey. There's Kelsey. You're a friendly group.
Thank you, Scott. So my name is Kelsey. I am the Fitness Services Director for Presbyterian Homes. I promise I won't make you do any fitness classes after that lovely meal you just had. So I have been with Presbyterian Homes for 5 years and worked in mainly the East Metro communities. I am currently out of our corporate office though. So I'm here to share with you some of the physical wellness opportunities that are going to be waiting for you when you move into Flagstone. So first, this is not my area of expertise, but it is an important component of physical wellness that is available to you all at our Flagstone community. So within our rehabilitation services, we have physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy under our roof. So if you were to get a doctor's order, once that order is received, our therapy team would then schedule a one-to-one comprehensive evaluation to create more of a customized program for you to assess your symptoms, needs, and then ultimately reaching your goals. So on here is just a couple of common conditions that are treated. So joint replacement, arthritis, memory changes, weaknesses, weakness, injury, or illness that you may be experiencing. So our rehabilitation team right at Flagstone would be able to you'd be able to go right to the rehab gym and they'd be able to treat you right there on site. Now this is my area of expertise, the wellness spaces. So this is a snapshot of what facilities we have waiting for you. So we have a fitness center that is outfitted with lots of cardio and weight equipment ready and waiting for you to go in and independently use that. We have an exercise classroom where we will be offering a variety of classes, balance classes, dance classes, strength classes, aerobics, flexibility, lots of different types of classes within that space. There is also an outdoor space as well for some of our classes, so we can get out and enjoy the beautiful weather like we have today on those warmer Minnesota days. Additionally, as Steve had mentioned early on in the presentation, this is the first community that has a pickleball court right on site. So that is an exciting addition to your outdoor space as well, along with then the putting green and that grilling area that Steve had mentioned. One of the more exciting things as well is we have a pool on site additionally. So there are aquatic classes, open swim times that you would be able to go in and use the pool. There are locker rooms for both men and women, and then an additional wellness space as well. So those are some of just a preview of the amenities that we have. Again, as I said, there is a fitness center outfitted with cardio and strength equipment, aquatic aerobics classes, variety of classes, We do have the pickleball court, and there is a full-time wellness staff on site as well. So a full-time wellness professional available to you 40 hours a week to answer any of your wellness goal questions. Additionally, we would offer assessments, fitness assessments done as well. I'll get into that a little bit on the next slide. There I'll talk about personal training. Have any of you had a personal training session in the past? Yes, several of you, very exciting. So that is also an additional piece of our programming. Yes, Steve in the back there as well has also had personal training. So in addition to the independent programs that we have where you can go down and use the fitness center or the pool spaces, you could hire a personal trainer to write a personalized program for you specific to your goals and specific to your wellness needs. So we would do an assessment, kind of giving you a baseline for where you're at, where we can highlight progress, and where we can design your program to really meet your specific needs. So these sessions would be available in whatever increment of time you wanted to start in, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 60-minute sessions, up to 5 days a week. Both land and aquatic sessions, so both up on the land, outside, indoors, wherever you would choose to do your session in the comfort of your own apartment or in the wellness center space. Or we have the aquatic options available as well. So you could hire a personal trainer to write a program for you to work through aquatic exercises as well. And this is done through private pay. So unlike rehab, physical therapy, occupational therapy, that is covered by insurance, the personal training comes out of pocket cost. So as I said, I am not going to make you do a fitness class today, but if you would like to have a preview of what our fitness classes look like, we have a virtual library of resources. This was created by our Purposeful Living team out of our Hamlin office from an outcome of COVID. Actually, we realized that we needed to have more virtual options available. So if you would like to get a preview of what our fitness classes look like, along with several other life enrichment, there's some virtual tours of museums and zoos that they had put on there as well, lots of fun interactive things. But you can log in on any of your devices to our ICE library, and you can click on the fitness section, and it is our fitness instructors at existing Presbyterian Homes locations that are teaching a variety of classes. So there's some balance classes on there, there are some fun dance classes, some different strength classes utilizing equipment that you might have in your own home. So soup cans, milk cartons, different things you can find around your own living space. But that would give you a preview. There are some flyers available in the back if you are interested in logging on to see what fitness opportunities await you at Flagstone. And with that, I believe Chelsea is going to wrap us up. And are there any questions? I guess I could say yes.
Is the pool heated?
Yes, it is a heated pool. So
Information on the wood shop?
on the wood shop, I don't have any information on the wood shop actually. Chelsea, no information on the wood shop. Apologies. Other fitness questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelsey. Wood shop updates. Stay tuned for those. We're slowly working on filling the wood shop. So information will be out about that shortly. One more note I was going to say, Deb had asked about our address. The Flagstone address is going to be 8350 Commonwealth Drive. So don't worry about writing that down right now. We will be including in that big packet of information you get the next time we get together, we are going to be including some postcards for you that have your new address that you can just fill out and mail to your friends and family. So we'll take care of that correspondence for you guys. But 8350 Commonwealth Drive will be the new Flagstone address. A couple other housekeeping notes. So our next gathering will be that final kind of meet and greet and opportunity to hear about the move-in process. We'll be handing out the move-in packets, walking you through all of the documents that are in that, kind of the next steps before the actual move-in for the community. And then at the end of August, early September, we're looking at doing the Dusty Shoe Tours, where we'll be able to go in and actually experience the community of Flagstone and take a look at some of the units. Another note, there were a pair of sunglasses found in the parking lot, so if anyone is missing sunglasses, we'll be posting these just at the back table. All the staff will be here as well to answer any questions, so if there's any operations questions or development questions, feel free to direct those to the appropriate people. And then one last note, all the flowers on the tables also need a home, so you guys go ahead and figure out who wants to take those home. Every table is assigned with some. There's also additional flowers up here, at the table in the back, and then in the lobby, so go ahead and grab those as well. But again, thank you all for attending today. It's great to see everybody, and hopefully you're able to spend a little bit of time mingling and meeting neighbors. You notice we put apartment numbers on the name tag, so peek at someone that has a number close to yours and get ready to meet some neighbors. Thank you all.